Hello everyone, welcome back to a new post today, and I hope you all are doing wonderfully well. So recently in my last post I had spoken about Atmanirbhartha or self-reliance development with regard to the manufacturing sector of India. Today once again we are going to speak about self-development or self-reliance, Atmanirbhartha in the defense sector of the economy. So recently the Minister of Defense Rajnath Singh had released a positive indigenization list with regard to the defense equipment which are going to be produced in-house, that is within the local market by the private sector as well as the major defense PSUs in the country. Let's have a quick review about what is this positive indigenization list. Why does the Ministry of Defense brought it? So this is the fourth list. Four lists have been brought out till now. Why? And what are the major steps that the defense industry is taking with regard to increasing self-reliance or Atmanirbhartha in the defense sector? Now let me tell you, like the manufacturing sector itself, India wants to become a major exporter with regard to defense products in the country. We are still a major importer of major defense equipment in the country, and we need them all because of our relations with the conflicts between India, Pakistan, and most recently India and China. However, this does not augur well for a country who wants to be the most developed nation by 2047. So depending for your defense needs on other countries is not a very good sign for a growing and a developed country and a developing country like India, which aims to be the powerhouse of the world economy, a supplier and a part of the global supply chain, and also wants to increase the exports of its own defense equipment. So the first step in self-reliance is to cutting off imports from other countries. And let's look at how the government is actually doing all of this. So recently the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh brought about a positive indigenization list, and this is one of the key component of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, and the government, as a part of this Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, wants to transform the defense sector to achieve self-reliance and boost the export of defense in the country with active participation of both the public sector as well as the private sector. Now the Ministry of Defense has taken a slew of measures to achieve Atmanirbharta in the defense sector of the country, and the positive indigenization list or the PIL is one of the landmark initiatives now towards achieving this goal or the vision to decrease imports from other countries. Now this is a move, as I told you, to become self-reliant in having the defense production or manufacturing of the equipment and various other ammunition, the missiles, the war related the equipment, etc., which is needed for the defense sector of the country to be produced in the country for itself. So to reduce the imports and to increase domestic production, now this positive indigenization list has been brought out. What is this list? It's nothing but a list brought out by the Ministry of Defense specifying the list of items which will not be imported, and instead they will be produced within the country for the Ministry of Defense and the various arms of the defense, that is the Army, Navy and the Air Force as well. So now the fourth list of the positive indigenization list has been brought out, and it's a fresh list of 928 components and subsystems which will be procured mainly from the defense domestic industry, giving a boost to the local development or the design and development with regard to defense sector. Now the positive indigenization list are those components which will be procured from the local industries, that is both the private and the PSUs which are involved in defense manufacturing and development. Let's look at a major list of the defense PSUs which play a major role in producing some of the major equipment which is used by the Ministry of Defense in India. The first is the HAL, that is the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, BEL, Bharat Electronics Limited, BEL Optronics Limited, Bharat Dynamics Limited, the Bharat Earth Movers Limited, Mishra Dattu and Nigam Limited, Medani, and the Mazda Dock Shipbuilders Limited, which is very famous for building the various vessels, ships, etc. So the ministry has said that the listed components now will come under a phased ban. That means they will be banned from being imported in another 5 to 6 years, and this will really give a boost to the local industry. The government will start buying all those list of items from the local companies as well, and they will not be imported anymore. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh therefore approved this fourth list now of positive indigenization, which is called, and it includes 928 strategically important subsystem system spares components, which will help the government to avoid imports which are worth 715 crores. So the government will be saving a whopping 750 crores rupees from importing. Now, what are the defense imports like? Let us look at this. Let us look at few brief figures which have been brought out very recently as 2022 by a think tank named as CIPRI. Now, the India tensions with Pakistan and China is one of the major reasons why India is going for importing the defense products. Now, it has 11% of total share of the imports in the world, and India is the world's biggest importer of major arms from 2018 and 22. Now, this position was last time held from 1993 to 2002, and this has been retained even though the imports have decreased at least by 11% between 17 and 22. This is given by the think tank CIPRI. Now, as per the latest data, India is the biggest arms export market to 3 major countries, and they are Russia, France and Israel, and also the second largest export market to South Korea. India is also the third largest market for South Africa, which is ranked 21 in the list of arms exporters to us. Now, for the same period, India also remained one of the largest arms importers from Saudi Arabia. Russia accounts for 45% of our imports, France for 29%, US for 11%. And at the same time, India is also the third largest arms supplier to Myanmar after Russia and China, accounting for 14% of its imports. To promote Atmanirbhartha, the defense minister has bought out this PIL, and all the items which will be figured in this PIL will be procured from the indigenous industry. That's what I told you. So the major boost for reducing the imports is nothing but to spur the production of these goods within the local economy by our defense PSUs. The defense ministry has established therefore a schedule now for prohibiting the import of certain items, which will be implemented between December 2023 and 2028, and this list is just a follow-up to 3 previous lists that have been brought out in 2021, 2022 of March and August 2022. So this is the 4th list. Now, this list contains about 2,500 items. All these lists contain 2,500 which are already indigenized, and 1,238 items will be indigenized within the given time frame of 5 to 6 years. Of the 1,238, 310 items have been indigenized already so far. So the defense PSUs undertake indigenization of all these items under the make category and the in-house development through the capabilities by involving the various MSMEs, private industry, and thereby providing an impetus to the local defense market and the defense production environment of the country. The Ministry of Defense says that it's working very hard to decrease the imports of arms into the country, and also to boost research and development in this area as well. So I told you that these the 3 positive indigenization lists have been brought up in 2021, 2022 of March and August 2022. Let us look at the brief account of what are the other initiatives apart from these PIL that the Ministry of Defense is doing to reduce the imports in the country and to spur the goal of Atmanirbhartha. Now, various other programs. So there is one program called as the Make in India. So the government has been able to shift from being a defense importer to a major exporter now, and this feat should at a record rupees 14,000 crore rupees that the government could save, and it aims to save and achieve about 25,000 crore rupees it wants to save by 2025. Some of the major initiatives that the Ministry of Defense has taken to push especially local development of these defense equipment are Mission Def Space. So Indian Space Development, Indian Space Defense Initiative called as the Mission Def Space was launched by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2022 as a part of the Defense Expo. Now, the goal of the space program is to use the industry and the startups to further India's goal of being a defense exporter. Now, the Mission Defense Space is launched with 75 defense space challenges that have been categorized into the existing initiatives like IDEX, Make 1 and Make 2. The challenges have been grouped into 5 categories like the launch system, satellite system, your communication system, payload system, ground system and the software system, and they provide a comprehensive 360 overview of the space. The budget allocation to this particular space aerospace sector has been growing, let me tell you, and the budget allocation in 2022 has been a whopping 13,700 crores for this program. The other most important program is IDEX, that is the Innovation for Defence Excellence Framework, with a goal to foster innovation and technology development in the defence and the aerospace sector by involving industries like the MSMEs, the startups, the individual innovators, R&D institutes, academia, etc. With a budgetary support of 498 crore rupees for the 5 years, that is from 2021 to 2026, the government has approved the central sector scheme called as IDEX, and through defence innovation organizations, the program's goal is to financially help 300 startups, MSMEs and individual innovators in this defence field. And the other one is Srijan. Now Srijan is a portal, so it is a portal of the Department of Defence Production, Ministry of Defence, that was launched by the Defence Minister in 2020. This very portal is a one-stop online portal for providing access to the vendors to take up items that can be taken up for indigenization. So the foreign items that we procure through imports will be indigenized. So they will be indigenously developed. The portal presents the data in a very structured manner, including the name of the item, an image, specification, import values, NATO classification, etc. And there is search function as well. And then this leads to indigenization development. The other one is the defence industrial corridors. Now, to achieve self-reliance in the defence sector, in line with Make in India, the centre has developed 2 defence industrial corridors, one in Uttar Pradesh and one in Tamil Nadu. Now, through these defence industrial corridors, the government will take up the defence manufacturing ecosystem in these particular states of Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh, providing a very favourable environment and condition for the development of defence equipment in these particular areas. The intention now is to just have a strong supply chain for boosting the production and testing of these equipment, and also certification, which will foster economies of scale, because everything is done at a single location called as the defence industrial corridors, and this will lead to the growth of competitive business environment in and around the area, not only in the defence industrial corridor as well. So according to the Ministry of Defence data from July this year, the Uttar Pradesh Expressway Industrial Development Authority, which is the nodal authority for the Uttar Pradesh Development Defence Industrial Corridor, has signed some 69 MOUs with the industry with a potential of 10,000 crore rupees. So 69 industries and companies have showed interest to come and manufacture at the Uttar Pradesh Defence Industrial Corridor. All the major sectors of the domestic defence production ecosystem will benefit from these initiatives, which are placing a strong emphasis on indigenization procurement from the domestic businesses. The initiatives have also led to a spur in domestic businesses, especially for the startups and the MSMEs, who are now coming forward to participate in the whole supply chain forward and backward linkages with regard to defense production in the country. So as I told you, it was during the time of COVID that we really realized how markets are interconnected, and the most important point is first to develop your home, the market at your home, which is most important. And now Government of India, with the aim to be the most developed nation by 2047, does not want to depend for its defense needs on other countries and wants to instead be an exporter of defense products. So we already know that India provides very value added services with very cheap price compared to the other countries with regard to space, and this is the same thing that India wants to do with regard to defense equipment as well. Also, quality of India is well known. India is already now going to supply the BrahMos supersonic missiles to Philippines, and other northeastern East Asia countries have showed interest like Myanmar, Indonesia, etc. So already they have been intended for supply of the BrahMos supersonic missile, and much more to come with all the initiatives that the government has taken for boosting the local production and also reducing imports. So I hope this information was really helpful to you all with regard to Atmanirbhartha, or self-reliance in defense production with regard to India, and few of the basic steps that the government has taken for this. And if you did like to share, like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment as well. I shall see you in my next post. Very happy learning.